So fast forward to my relationship that I still have now with my partner. It's been 7 years we're together, and it was also such a different guy from my past partners. He's older, he has kids, he's like a more grounded person, also like more way safer for me, but still ROCD came up right at the beginning, and that's where I started like really becoming depressed. I think until then I was like in survival mode and really trying to make sense of what was happening by just thinking there's something wrong with me, but maybe it's also specifically my partner. But when I saw that it was repeating over time, and I'm not saying that if it happens with just one partner for you, it means that the partner is the problem, but that's how my process worked. I was like, okay, the third time it comes again, but I was still like, it's me, I have a problem, I am a bad person, I'm just not like equipped for that world, I'm not equipped for a relationship, I'll never be happy, ever. Life is just doomed for me, and I'm gonna break his heart, and he's a great guy, and he's loving me, and he's like really obviously someone that's really wanting the best for me, but still is like, I am triggered, and I have ROCD. And I remember really precisely having the first like night at our apartment and like inviting some friends from work, and one of his friends was talking with me, and it had again like what if I'm like attracted by his friend, what if like actually like I'm not faithful like to him, and like what if I want to kiss that boy, and you know how it is. And then I broke down in the bedroom, and I just broke down and cried and cried and cried. And I told him, I need to confess something. I need to tell you something. It was maybe 4 months we were dating, and I told him, you know what, I have a problem. I think I'm not a normal person. Each time I'm with someone, I'm like starting to obsess about other guys. And he was so understanding, but also I could see in his eyes, it was like, what do you mean exactly? Do you mean that my colleague like is attractive to you? I was like, yes, but at the same time, it's not what I mean. I feel attracted, but I'm not feel attracted. It's that I'm scared that I'm going to be attracted. And I felt that he was a bit upset, but also trying really hard to understand me. And so it went like this for a few hours, talking about it, when it started, how it keeps going. And we started there, we stopped there, and he said that he was committed to help me, whatever it was. And I Googled online, and that's where I found a video of Kiyomi saying like, to be really honest, my first video was not Kiyomi. It was a French guy that was talking about relationship anxiety in French, and I've never heard about it. And in the comments, someone mentioned Awakening to Love. So I went there, but my level in English was not that good at that time. So I was like, okay, I need to try. And I remember I was on my couch in my apartment in Paris, and the relief of seeing this person saying, this is a thing that has a name. This is actually something that exists, that other people experience, and breaking down and crying and calling my partner like, I have found something. I'm actually not the only one experiencing that. It happens to be something that exists. And from there, my healing journey began. And that day when I found out about ROCD was in 2018. So we are in 2024. So it was a long time ago. And I would say, to be honest, I know some people that recover pretty fast from ROCD. For some people, it's a journey that like you understand the concept and you heal it and you feel better and they can move on and get married. And like, for me, it's not been like that. It's not been a fast process. It's been a slow process. And to be honest with you, as I am still the director of Awakening to Love, I'm still journeying through my ROCD journey. And I think that's a reason why it's important for me to share my story, because I don't want people working with us to think that if you're not done with ROCD, there is a problem with you. I might be myself struggling with ROCD in the back of my head, or like some resurgences or like some relapse all my life, and I work with it, and that doesn't like prevent me from being happy for helping others with ROCD, and to also like experiencing a much richer and deeper life. So that's really a message that I want to share, because I've heard a lot of people and talk with a lot of our clients saying that, for example, XY people like seem so healed and they feel so much better. What about me? I don't. So what am I failing at in my healing journey? And I'm like, no worries, I'm there. I'm still struggling. I'm still taking meds. I'm like still in it. But that doesn't mean that we can't start to leave, even if we're experiencing it. And that's really the message that I want to share with you. So my last words for you would be that if you're in the ROCD journey, no matter if you're just starting it or if you're like been there for years and you're like one of the OG of Awakening to Love like me, that are like been there forever, like, oh my God, what am I still there? All those people are coming and leaving and I'm still there. You're not alone. I'm there with you. And that doesn't mean anything about you being a failure, but you not being good at the healing journey. It just means that we're all different. And also that deepening into that healing journey can be a beautiful thing. That's how I see it. I personally see that every time ROCD is coming back, every time ROCD is in the background of my life, I see it as an opportunity to deepen my healing, to become a more awakened version of myself. And so I tend to now be like, oh, like ROCD is there. How great, it's still there because I still have room to grow. So not seeing it as something that says something bad about you, but almost an opportunity to grow even more. I know it's hard. I know suffering, and to suffer is hard. It's not something that I want to bypass in any way. But I really want to tell you that from my personal experience and thinking I was the exception, that I was failing at healing, being now at Awakening to Love as a director, like having like journeyed from so far on this journey, I can tell you that we can all of us, each one of us, find freedom for it. And no matter what this freedom looks like. Some people, freedom will look like never having a thought ever. That happens. I don't know why some of them not. But some people like me, it's like living maybe with like this background of ROCD sometimes, but also thriving, expanding, being fulfilled and having a great life and like having like going through milestones with my partner and seeing my life expand in front of my eyes. So I want to give you that hope that's possible for you too. So when I think about myself before I did the work, before I even like found Awakening to Love, I was in the dark. I was extremely anxious. I was totally controlled by my thought and my feelings and my sensation. I thought that what I thought was who I am, and what I thought was also what's gonna happen. It's like I was really absolutely entwined with cognitive distortions, meaning that I thought that everything was so black and white, everything was catastrophic, everything was like horrible. And also I was in such a like heightened state of emotion all the time. I had absolutely no way of self-soothe myself, to bring compassion. I was so hard with myself, so shameful with myself. And also, that's not a very pretty part of my story, projecting so much onto my partner and being so mean, sometimes humiliating, sometimes like bypassing totally the fact that I was projecting onto him stuff. No matter, we all have like relationship that can be flawed, and there is faults that are always shared, in my opinion, but like I was literally projecting so much anger, so much like sadness, and being in such like heightened state of emotion with this almost this roller coaster of like confessing and feeling guilt and then feeling like anger again. Like my life was literally like a train on a roller coaster with no rest, no emotional rest, no mental rest, and I think no physical rest. I even ended up having like a very serious health issue for different reasons, but I personally believe that it was also triggered by such a high level of stress and anxiety on a daily basis. That was me before. After doing the work with Awakening to Love, not only the ROCD Academy, I was also an Awakening to Relationship member, which was a whole program of ours that's called AIR. I really literally awakened. I think that's the beautiful part about Awakening to Love, and what Kiyomi created as the founder is to be able to put people through, to guide people through in a gentle way, in a subtle way, through healing from ROCD from a very CBT exposure part, but also on the background, like almost like inserting some spiritual loving concepts, and that awakened me so profoundly that I can't even describe. Like it's almost like the person I was before, I don't even remember so much. It feels like a distant shadow a little bit, when now I feel like I'm a human being that's way more hopeful. That's one thing, that see the bigger picture, and that starts also to be more, how can I say, like not so stuck with my emotions, with my thought, with my feeling, and just way more connected to myself. I think that's also like a huge benefit from working with us, is that we're not just like helping you get rid of ROCD and bye-bye. It's like, how can you also like connect with yourself and become a better human being for yourself, for your partner, for others, for the world. So it has a bigger purpose. I'm also, that's personal because I know it's not the path for everyone. Become a very spiritual person, not necessarily in a religious way, but in spirituality for me being like connecting with something bigger. Something bigger could be nature, could be love. For me it's nature, it's love, and feeling that almost like ROCD, me, we are part of something much bigger, and that's so that changed life, because you don't see life through this little like distorted lens of fear and anxiety, but you see it from like a wider, more expanded perspective, and that changed everything.
Hi there, maybe you're in the beginning of finding out about ROCD and anxiety, maybe you're in the middle, or maybe you're so familiar with it for what it feels like a long time. Either way, we want you to know that you're not alone, and we really understand how you're feeling. We also truly understand what it's like to not have friends, family, and even professionals understand ROCD or relationship anxiety. That's why we have experienced experts in this field who are here to help you one-on-one with all of the suffering that you're going through, to take your hand and show you step by step on how to find freedom from this suffering. I want you to know that you deserve to have someone who truly understands ROCD and relationship anxiety. You deserve to have someone that you can go to that feels safe and understands and doesn't trigger you or tell you immediately that you need to break up with your partner. You deserve to have someone who sees you and helps you through this journey that can feel so alone.